Hey everybody, it's Tripl-L coming in to talk about Jobless Reincarnation. This time specifically, we're covering the story of Lilllia, because she had one. Episode 4 of Jobless Reincarnation came and went a while ago, and at that time 2 new baby girls were added to the family. Along with that, Lilllia was caught red-handed, Paul was caught red-handed, and Zenith persevered. There were a lot of little details that came out from that episode, like the reveal that Paul and Lilllia had a one-night fling a long time ago, but there were a few more details surrounding Lilllia that didn't make it into the episode. So in this video, we're going to cover that blank portion when it comes to Lillia's backstory. The place we begin is how exactly did Lilllia end up coming to work for Paul and Zenith? Here's what's up. Lilllia got an entire chapter dedicated to herself back in Volume 1. She was once a royal handmaiden for the Azura Palace's harem, being a maid and a guardswoman in the service of the royal family. One day, there was an assassination attempt on a newborn royal. But because Lilllia wasn't that skilled with blades, she didn't really fare well in confronting the assassin. She got nicked in the leg with a blade coated in poison, which left her unable to run really. She has a little bit of a limp, which sounds bad, but it was that or dying, so really Lilllia got off pretty well. Anyway, things got complicated. Lilllia couldn't do her job anymore, so the palace let her go, but things weren't so simple. Lilllia was a commoner, and she was also a person who had just left a very sensitive position. Lilllia, upon release, thought that she might be bait to lure out the person behind the assassination attempt, and she was just like, nope. She left for the borders of the kingdom fearing for her safety, and once there spent about a month looking for work. Eventually, she came across the job posting that Paul made, and she instantly remembered him as the no-good son of a noble that once lived at the training hall that she lived in. Anyway, Paul needed someone for the household because Zenith was expecting a child, and Lilllia was just like, hey, I can hold stuff over his head if he refuses letting me work for him, alluding to their one night when they were younger. She didn't need to blackmail him though. Everyone welcomed Lilllia in. This then takes us to her life, and over time, she and Zenith get along really well. This then takes us to her life with Rudius. She was terrified of Rudy, thinking that he was an actual demon, as in he was possessed. She thought that this kid was going to kill her. Along with that, Lilllia would also be reminded of a perverted old man when she saw Rudy grinning. She was very repulsed by him, having said that picking up Rudy was very worrisome. His nostrils would flare, the corners of his mouth would draw up, and he'd start panting and he'd bury his face against her bosom. Very, very uncomfortable. His throat would twitch as he made weird, gleeful little giggles while he was doing that. All in all, it reminded her of an old official that was rumored to buy young women as slaves. So, understandable. Rudy is a perverted old man. Anyway, going back to the demon comment, Lilllia thought that Rudy could potentially be a demon because of the way he behaved when he was a child. And that came from a story that she had heard back in the Azura Palace. The story went that back when the Azuran prince was still a baby, he'd crawl around the harem grounds night after night. It turned out he was possessed by a demon, and not knowing that, one of the attendants picked him up and he pulled out a knife he had hidden behind his back and killed her by stabbing her in the heart. So when you leave that situation and you come into the situation with Rudy, you can understand why someone would get scared. Regardless, things got much better once Rudy started studying magic, since he had something to focus on. And after that, we know what happens. Lilllia becomes indebted to Rudy for his kindness towards her and her child, and she affirms that she will raise her child to be an excellent servant for her dear master Rudius. And that's pretty much, for this stage of the game, the story of Lilllia. Volume 1 has a few more stories that weren't adapted, and we'll be covering that on this channel. But if you enjoyed this video and you enjoyed the little details, let me know down below. But till next time, I hope you have an absolutely great day.